All right, welcome back to our channel. So, um, we already finished discussing about the different tools of nursing assessment or tools that are used in assessing the family as well as yung ating family nursing care process, specifically yung phase ng assessment. We have the two types of assessment, the first level of assessment and the second level of assessment. That belongs to the typology of assessing the nursing care that is given to your family. Now we go to the next phase, which is your planning, the planning phase of the nursing care process. And wala yung diagnosis dyan kasi included na siya doon sa first discussion natin under yung video natin, yung recording natin na entitled Tools for Assessment. And yung diagnosis natin dito sa family nursing care process, ang ginagamit nating tool doon is the Family Coping Index. That is why wala siya doon sa mga phases na nilagay natin or diniscuss natin. So we use or we utilize a separate tool of diagnosing a family using the Family Coping Index. Now, for this topic, we will going to tackle about the formulation or the guidelines for formulating the family nursing care plan. Now, what is family nursing care plan? This is basically the blueprint. No? Pag sinabi nating blueprint, ito yung magiging basis natin ng pagde-design to eliminate or minimize the identified health and family nursing problems through explicitly formulated outcomes of care. In short, magbubuo tayo ng goals or mag-set tayo ng goals and objectives, and then carefully we choose our interventions, we choose the internal and external resources, and then we set criteria of evaluation. And of course, magre-rely yan doon sa first phase or the first step of the nursing care process, which is your assessment. Kung anong findings mo doon sa assessment, doon din dapat ang ilalagay nyo or doon magbe-base ang yung planning, intervention, and your evaluation. So this is basically the blueprint of care for the nursing process. Now, in establishing the goals and objectives here in the FNCP, you must keep in mind that the goals and objectives are formulated after setting priorities of identified family health and nursing problems. So, ibig sabihin yan, dapat nag-set tayo ng priorities among the problems identified sa family na napili ninyo, like your foster families. Now, if you identified 10 problems for that specific family, you will compute, you will prioritize, and kung ano yung number one, number two, number three, yun ang i-address natin, gagawin natin ng FNCP. Now, you cannot just solve the 10 problems identified all at once. So, we must set the priority problem kung ano yung dapat nating address urgently. So, in setting your goals, we must know that the definition of goals is the desired observable family response to planned interventions in response to a mutually identified family need. So kung ano yung na-identify yung need ng family o kailangan ng family, yun yung pagbibisan natin ang gagawin natin na goal. And goal is in general dapat or ang statement nun is in general. And your objective naman, yun yung step by step or kung anong mga procedure ang kailangan natin gawin in order to come up or to achieve your goals. So for example, ang goal mo is to lose weight. Yung objective mo dapat here is like for example, you set the step by step or procedures na kailangan mong gawin para makalose ka ng weight like lowering calorie intake, increasing aerobic exercises, and then increasing fiber in the diet. Like those are included in your objectives, while your goals is more generally mentioned or generally stated doon sa inyong FNCP. Now, when setting your goals and objectives, it should be smart. Like yung paulit-ulit kong sinasabi sa inyo, S stands for specific. Your goal must be direct, detailed, and meaningful. Hindi yung paligoy-ligoy siya, paikot-ikot siya, at dapat specified lahat ng iyong mga nilalagay dito sa FNCP. And then measurable, dapat na may measure siya. Your goal is to be quantifiable, ibig sabihin in the form of a numeric value to track or progress or to track the success of your interventions. Dapat meron time frame. Okay, attainable. Your goal is realistic. Huwag kang magsiset ng goal na hindi mo kayang i-attain. Like should be realistic, and you have the tools, you have the available tools, and yung resources ay nandyan siya. Yung internal at saka external resources ay totoo. Do not just imagine, and then do not just assume. Dapat ang nilalagay natin dyan is yung mga totoong nasa paligid, or yung totoong mga tools na pwede natin gamitin or i-utilize in helping your client. And you're relevant kung dapat ang vision and mission natin, yung goals natin ay na-align at parehas yun sa goal ng family mismo. So we involve the family during your planning phase. So it should be relevant, it should be important, at dapat parehas kayo ng goal with your client. Kasi kapag ikaw lang nagsiset ng sarili mong goal, it would be useless, because we are teaching the client to be independent, not dependent with our programs and our interventions na binibigay sa ating mga families. Now, we have also here time-based. Dapat meron siyang, sabi ko nga kanina, meron siyang, magsiset kayo ng time frame if it is short-term goal or long-term goal. So you must know kung ano yung mga short-term goals natin at ano yung mga ilalagay natin sa mga long-term goal na yan. So we have here nurse-oriented versus client-oriented, kung paano tayo maglalagay ng mga description doon sa FNCP. Now, dito sa nurse-oriented, it is basically the nurse's objectives yung dinidescribe niya. For example, during the home visit, the nurse will discuss the importance of immunization. So ibig sabihin niyan yung objective ng nurse o yung activity ng nurse ang nilagay niya dito sa description na ito. And then during the second nurse family contact, the nurse will show the different types of fertility regulating methods, which is an activity for the nurse, an accomplishment for the nurse na yun yung ginawa niya for the client. That is the nurse-oriented. Samantalang dito sa client-oriented, ito naman yung nakasentro mismo sa client. Ito ang nakasentro, mga statements na nakasentro sa client. So ibig sabihin yan, for example, the nursing intervention, after the nursing intervention, the malnourished preschool member of the family will increase their weights by at least 1 pound per month. So most notably, makikita natin na merong impact or may effect yung ginawa ng nurse na yan na intervention doon sa client. So the client has expressed or merong notable changes sa behavior man yan or sa the way he perceives certain disease, or yung mga knowledge, mga skills ay na-enhance doon. Makikita natin dito sa statement under the client-oriented. So dapat ang ginagamit natin dito na description or the way we describe our client here when you are crafting your FNCP, dapat yan always client-centered or client-oriented. So nurse-oriented yan, ibig sabihin yan, nag-comply lang si nurse. So ibig sabihin may notable ba na changes na brought about sa client mo? So wala. Dito sa client-oriented, makikita mo merong notable changes. Kasi nga after nursing intervention, yan, makikita mo, for example, dito sa example natin na number 1, the malnourished preschool member of the family will increase their weights by at least 1 pound. So tumaas at merong quantity dyan, yung increasing of weight from yung abnormal to normal weight. And then after the nursing intervention, there will be improved relationship among family members. So may notable change. Again, may notable change na naman dyan. And then the last example is after the nurse's visit, the family will bring the preschool members to the well baby clinic the following day. So siguro nung noong first contact ng nurse at saka yung client is ayaw ng family na magpa-check up. But after na magbigay ng intervention yung nurse, may notable change na yung family na ngayon ay nagpapa-check up na sila. Pinupunta na nila ang kanilang preschool members sa Well Baby Clinic for check-up. So yan ang client-oriented versus nurse-oriented. So again, we must be client-oriented when you are giving description to the FNCP, not just nurse-oriented. Kasi dyan nakafocus lang yan sa activity ng nurse, while the client-oriented, nakafocus yan sa notable changes or kung anong impact ng iyong ginawang intervention sa client. Now we go to the actual NCP na ginagawa natin sa clinical settings, hospital setting. Ito yung pinapagawa sa atin ng mga clinical instructors. So we have the nursing care plan. You formulate the nursing care plan or the NCP. As you can see, we have the assessment, the diagnosis, expected outcomes, interventions, rationales, and evaluation. So sa assessment, we have two types, subjective and objective. So sa subjective, galing yan sa emotion or galing yan sa feelings ng iyong client. So for instance, dito sa example natin, sabi ng client ninyo may mga tahi pang hindi nag-close. O di ba? May social yung patient nyo, ano siya, combination of English at saka Tagalog, may mga tahi pang hindi nag-close. So as verbalized by the patient. Yun yung sinabi ng patient ninyo. And then objective cues, what are the objective assessment that you have observed? So merong redness or mild swelling around the incision site, break in skin integrity due to sutures, yung parang sa tahi-tahi niya. And then there's the presence of fresh post-operative wound, post-surgical dressing appears wet and soiled. So these are examples of your objective assessment, not just merely placing vital signs here, but I want you to place or I want you to conduct cephalocaudal assessment. And yun ang nilagay natin sa objective assessment. That is, syempre, relatable or relative to the subjective data. So, itong assessment natin, dapat magbe-base yan sa gagawin nating nursing diagnosis. So, for clinical setting, risk for infection related to surgical incision as evidenced by presence of fresh operative wounds. Now, doon sa family nursing care plan, we use or we utilize the family coping index as an alternative tool for us to determine the proper diagnosis. Now, for the expected outcomes, sabi natin kanina, be smart. We set the goals kung short-term man yan or kung long-term yan. So yung short term, after 4 hours of nursing interventions, that is the immediate goal that you should achieve. While yung long-term goal, for example, 3 times tayong nag-duty doon sa community na yon. So after 3 weeks or after 3 days of nursing interventions, the patient's wound will show signs of proper healing. That is evidenced by reduced redness, no pus, or excessive drainage. So again, yung expected outcomes natin dapat ay relatable or related doon sa assessment. So hindi siya dapat nagja-jump or lahat ay doon sa ginawa nating assessment. So dito sa assessment, meron tayong na-observe na redness or mild swelling, break in skin integrity, presence of fresh post-operative wounds. So yan din ang ilalagay natin dito sa expected outcomes. Same as true with the intervention. So meron tayong tinatawag na independent at saka dependent. Yung independent, pwede mong gawin yan without doctor's order. So this is basically the nursing management. So example niyan, monitor the surgical site for signs of infection. So independent yan, intervention. Assess the patient's temperature. Of course, when you are taking the vital signs of your patient every 4 hours, that is an independent intervention for you. And education, health education, encouragement, proper hand hygiene, and those are independent interventions. And how about your dependent? Of course, you perform wound care. Yan, pwedeng ilalagay niyan sa doctor's order. So we have to perform proper wound care. And then rationales, what are the rationales? Anong reason bakit ginagawa yung intervention na yon? So for this case, Early detection allows for timely intervention to prevent worsening infection. And an increase in temperature, heart rate, or respiratory rate may indicate an infection. So these are the rationales or the reason why kailangan natin gawin yung specific na intervention na yun. And lastly, you have the evaluation. Of course, naka-angkla rin yan, naka-anchor yan sa mga expected outcomes ninyo. So yung nilalagay natin dito is short-term goal and the long-term goal. But the difference is that you will place it here sa evaluation phase if yung goal ba na yun ay goal met ba? Na-meet mo ba yung objective mo or yung goal mo dito sa specific na problem na to? And then if it is partially met or goal unmet. So we have two types here sa evaluation, the short term and the long term na kaparehas ng expected outcomes dito sa planning. And you must place it here if it is goal met and if it is partially met or unmet or not met. And you have to know what are the reasons. Anong naging rason mo bakit yun ay goal unmet or goal partially met. So that is for the hospital setting or clinical setting. Now, same as true with your FNCP, the Family Nursing Care Plan sa community natin, sa community setting. So we are using the format, the Family Nursing Care Plan. We indicate the health problem, the family nursing problem, the goal of care, objectives of care, nursing interventions, method of family contact, and resources. So parang mas madali itong ano natin, FNCP. Because you identify the first level of, you conduct the first level of assessment. Ito yung nilalagay natin dito sa health problem. And yung second level of assessment nilalagay natin dito under sa family nursing problem. And then the goal of care, of course, kung ano yung mga expected outcomes ninyo, objectives of care, specific na gagawin ninyo na step by step in order to achieve the goal of care. Nursing interventions na specific na nursing interventions na gagawin ninyo in order to come up or to achieve this objectives of care. The method of family contact, kung ano ba yan, kung face-to-face ba yan o through home visit or through telephone conference, and what are the available internal and external resources na utilize or pwedeng ma-utilize ng family na yon. So I have here an example of a readily made FCP o family nursing care plan. So ang nilagay niya dito sa health problem niya, sabi ko kasi sa inyo kanina, ang nilalagay natin sa health problem is the first level assessment. So in this case, sa Rosario family, we have poor sanitation, and it is considered as the health threat doon sa nature of the problem natin, if you still remember. And then health threat siya, poor sanitation, lack of sanitary toilet facility, breeding sites of vectors of diseases. May mga mosquitoes siguro or yung toilet facility nila wala, absent, hindi siya sanitary or wala silang sariling toilet facility. And then lack of proper drainage system and poor hygiene practice. So those are health problems under the first level of assessment. Now we go to the next, the family nursing problem, the second level assessment. So ang nilagay natin or inilagay niya dito is the inability to provide a home environment conducive to health maintenance and personal development due to, of course, inadequate family resources, specifically financial constraints or limited financial resources. Siguro walang budget ang family para magpatayo ng sanitary toilet facility. So kung mapapansin nyo, nag-base yung family nursing problem or second level assessment doon sa first level of assessment, which is poor sanitation. Therefore, ang nilagay niya sa second level assessment is all about the inability to provide a home environment because it talks about the environment that is not conducive to health maintenance and personal development. Kasi wala silang, ayan, you specify. Andun naman lahat yung sa list na binigay ko sa inyo. So andun lahat, you specify kung bakit may inability to provide a home environment conducive to health maintenance. So due to inadequate family resources, specifically financial constraints, limited financial resources, and lack of or inadequate knowledge of importance of hygiene and sanitation. And also she placed it here, lack of knowledge regarding preventive measures. So yun yung magiging basis natin sa next phase, which is the goal of care or setting the goal of care. So after the nursing interventions, so mas maganda siguro maglagay kayo ng specific time frame dito. So after how many days of nursing interventions, kung ilang rotation kayo dyan or kung binalikan niyo yung patient ninyo, so ilagay niyo yan, specify ninyo kung days man yan or months. So the family will be able to gain knowledge on the importance of hygiene practice because we are indicating here sa family nursing problem natin sa second level assessment na may lack of knowledge ang family. So therefore, the goal of care is to for you to impart essential knowledge to that specific family. So, ang goal of care mo is to gain knowledge on the importance of hygiene practice, develop practices. Of course, magkakaroon ng return demonstration na sila ay nakadevelop na ng practice to avoid health risk, eradicate the presence of these unwanted sites of vectors causing diseases, and maintain a home environment conducive to health. And of course, yung mas specific on how we will achieve our goal. Ito yung mga objectives natin, develop a healthy habit of practicing hygiene, be aware and be more knowledgeable about the importance of proper sanitation, especially at home. So lahat ng ito pwedeng, ang action mo dito is you give health education to the patient and then recognize the causes of breeding sites such as to prevent the occurrence of diseases. So nursing intervention, ayan, i-discuss na natin yung importance through health education, cite the causes and effects of the prevalence of these unwanted pests, pests around the home. So, pwedeng may notable change yan. Makikita nyo na parang yung mga nakatiwangwang dati na mga tubig, ay tinatakpan na nila or tinatapon nila para hindi siya maging breeding ground for mosquitoes. And then explore with the family the ways of improving home sanitation, considering its limited resources. So we recognize also na may limitation ang family. Yan pumapasok yung financial constraints. So pag financial yan, pwede natin silang i-refer din doon sa ibang agency like your DSWD and the local government unit kung meron silang services that offers cash assistance or parang pwede silang mag-donate ng mga toilet facilities that the family can utilize. So that is called the referral method of case management. Now, we have here the method of nurse to family contact. Ang ginawa niyang method here is home visit. Ibig sabihin niyan, most likely face-to-face ang naging contact nila. So the resources required upon evaluation, human resources, kailangan ng time and effort for both the student, nurse, and the family. And the material resources like visual aids, pamphlets, and other IECs. So that is your family care plan. Next, another example. So health problem na identify the first level of assessment for home environmental condition because there is a notable presence of breeding or resting sites of vectors of diseases. So parehas lang yan. Pwede yan mosquito, pwede yan rodents, pwede mga flies. So the family nursing care problem or the family nursing problem here is inability to provide a home environment. So saan nyo nakukuha ito? Doon sa second level of assessment na diniscuss natin ng mga nakarang slides. So the goal of care, of course, kung anong magiging general goal mo, and then objective specific interventions to meet that goal, and then the nursing interventions that you have to do or what you did, and then of course yung family contact resources, and then evaluation. So naka-indicate dito after 2 days of nursing intervention, the family was able to verbalize the importance of proper sanitation and was able to eliminate standing waters on debris capable of holding water such as plastic bags and tires. So yun, pwedeng in-eliminate nagtaob-taob sila ng mga nakatiwangwang na mga stagnant waters doon sa kanilang paligid. So that is a notable change expressed by the client after 2 days of nursing intervention. So next one, what are the important strategies or guidelines for you to choose or when you are choosing appropriate family nursing interventions. So meron tayong iba't ibang klase dito ng nursing interventions or strategies when you are choosing the appropriate nursing interventions for your client. So focus on interventions to help the family performs health tasks. So ibig sabihin nito, um, dito na pumapasok yung ano natin, yung principle natin. We are not just teaching or we are not teaching the family to rely sa ating mga binibigay sa kanila or kung anumang agency ang nagbibigay sa kanila ng tulong. We are teaching them not to be dependent to those interventions, but we are helping them how to become independent at paano sila magde-decide, paano sila mag-a-act, kailangan nila ng skill on how to deal with the specific problems. Yan. So, we must focus on interventions na kung saan hindi sila magre-rely sa atin. Sabi nga natin, feed a man the fish and yeah, give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day. Uh, teach him how to fish and you will feed him for a lifetime. So, ganun. Yung parang ano natin dyan, word natin. So, help the family recognize the problem. So, kailangan nating i-urge yung family na yon at kailangan niyang maka-come up with a proper decision on how to manage those problems and guide the family to decide, develop the family's ability and commitment to provide nursing care to each member. So dapat meron silang pakialam din sa mga household members nila when it comes to health aspects. So enhance the capability of the family. Of course, hanapin, kailangan natin identify kung ano yung mga strength and the weaknesses ng family na yan. So doon tayo aatake doon sa strength and sa weakness, ang magiging advantage kasi din natin kung ano yung kanilang mga strengths. So family or facilitate the family's capability to utilize community resources. So you must first identify what are the available resources internally or externally. Like kung meron bang barangay health station doon, meron bang malapit na rural health unit or meron bang sapat na manpower doon sa mga facilities na yon. So you must identify first before um, facilitating the family in order to utilize this specific community resources. So there are three types of interventions. We have the supplemental. Pag sinabi natin supplemental, these are the actions that the nurse performs on behalf of the family. So ito yung independent na intervention na ginagawa ng nurse. That is also called supplemental. Yung independent action na ginagawa ng nurse that the nurse performs on behalf of the family. For example, wound care or nagbibigay ng health education, ganon, and then vaccinations. So facilitative, so these are the actions that remove barriers to appropriate health actions such as assisting the family. So for example, yung mababa ang kanilang or may something na problema sa coping mechanism ng family na yon. So you facilitate, the nurse facilitate and remove that barrier para mas ma-positive ang kanilang view towards health. And then developmental, which aims to improve the capacity of the family to provide for its own health needs. So we teach them how to be independent with their own health needs and to address their own health needs. Dapat meron silang essential knowledge, skills, and attitude towards improving their own health. Kasi paano kapag wala ka na as the healthcare provider? So dapat alam na nila kung anong ginagawa nila. So how do we implement the family care plan or the FNCP? It involves creating a plan and setting the patient's objective. So sabi ko nga kanina, kasama dapat natin ang patient when you are crafting your plan. And next is the actual treatments and actions that are taken to help the patient to achieve the objectives that are set for them. So ano mga course of actions nila or actual actions na makakatulong sa patient that will bring about change to the client themselves or the family itself. Then lastly, nurses are following the nursing process. Of course, pag wala yung assessment, di dapat magpo-proceed sa planning kaagad-agad or implementation kaagad-agad. and it should be smart when we are taking care of patients. So we go to the categories of intervention. So we have different kinds of intervention. We have promotive. Of course, pag promotive yan, we are enabling the people to increase control over and improve their health. Nagtuturo sila ng hand washing techniques. So those are promotive or preventive pala yan. So to increase the control to prevent infection. So that is the best way to control infection. Specific efforts aimed at reducing yung preventive naman tayo. So preventive, these are specific efforts aimed at reducing the development and severity of diseases and other morbidities. Ito naman yung mga action na ginagawa natin para ma-reduce or matigilan ang pag-develop ng isang sakit or yung uh, iniwasan natin yung grumabe yung mga sakit na existing na mga illness sa family members. And then rehabilitative, it helps a person who has suffered an illness, so meron na yung existence of illness or disability, and we teach them how to regain maximum self-sufficiency. So more on rehab siya, more on mga activities that is centered towards gaining or regaining the skills or the limitations na experience nila kasi may sakit sila. Now we have the curative. This involves treating the patients with the intent of curing them, not just reducing their pain or stress. So hindi lang panandalian na intervention dito, kundi ito ay parte ng pagtitreat natin ng patients. So what are the tools for your public health nurse? Of course, alam niyo na yan. Kung ano yung mga dinadala natin during your community duty, one of the tools for public health nurse is your umbrella ba yan? Of course, gasgas na yung payong na yan. So si Jollibee, it is not, hindi, walang pinapromote ito. Si Jollibee, so aside from your umbrella na pang panangga sa init, kung umulan man yan, or pangbaot ng aso. So we have the PHN bag. So this is a public health bag that is essential and indispensable equipment of a public health nurse which she has to carry along during home visits. So laman yan ang essential equipment that you can use when you are conducting your home visit. So naaral yan nung prelims kaya. So I don't have to expound. So types of family nurse contact, pwede tayong mag clinic visit or yung client na yon, yung family na yon pwedeng pumunta mismo sa clinic or sa rural health units or sa BHS, sa barangay health stations. So that is your clinic visit. And then home visit, yung mga ginagawa ninyo when you conduct your parang magbabahay-bahay kayo. This is a home visit. Dala-dala ang page bag. And then group conference, you conduct a group conference together with the patient and other members of the healthcare team. So pwede yan. Para kasi nga we are integrating the multidisciplinary approach to your client. And of course, you have the telephone conference or cell phone conference. You can just call the patient utilizing the current technology that we have. And it can be also in the form of written communication. So pwede kang magsulat sa patient mo or isulat, i-document lahat ng mga findings mo na nag-gather. So these are the types of family nurse contact. Ano ba mga family healthcare researches na ginagawa natin? So we have a wide range of studies and practices aimed at understanding and improving the health and well-being of families. So kasali dyan yung mga related studies, mga qualitative researches. And we also have the evidence-based practices wherein kailangan natin ng research na yan para makapagbigay tayo ng mga ebidensya na yun, ang method na yun ay effective at mapatunayan natin na ang method na yun ay effective para sa client nyo. Then we have the interprofessional care in the community. So when we say interprofessional care, this indicates yung multidisciplinary approach natin sa ating client or sa ating family. So we have the other members of the healthcare team, and it could be organizations or other agencies in establishing mutual relationships with the healthcare provider or the nurse. So, kasi nga, di ba, sabi natin, there is a complexity of addressing personal and professional differences. Mayroong mga complexity of the problems na makikita natin sa mga family na yan. So we must work with other agencies. We must agencies in order for us to come up with um, a timely and efficient interventions para sa client. Now we have here the national or the different national government agencies called the NGAs. So pwede tayong mag-coordinate sa kanila. Pwede nating i-refer yung mga client natin sa kanila kung hindi natin kaya yung aspect na yun. So when it terms sa social aspect, social determinants, we refer the client to the Department of Social Welfare and Development, like the DSWD. And it is the primary government agency mandated to develop, implement, and coordinate social protection services. So kapag social determinants ang problema ng client ninyo or yung family na yon, you can refer them sa DSWD, for instance. And we have also the National Nutrition Council kapag malnourished ang kasambahay nila, like may mga household members na undernourished or overnourished, pwede silang i-refer sa National Nutrition Council. And also, we have the population, the Commission on Population or the POPCOM. They are mandated as the overall coordination, monitoring and policy making body of the population program. So pwede tayong humingi ng mga data or related researches dito sa agency na to. So these are some of the national government agencies that we can refer our clients to. And aside from the national government agencies, we have also the local government units or the LGU. Kasi nga merong devolution na nangyari. So yung power ng national government ay napunta na dito sa local government units, the LGU. And we coordinate the activities of different organizations in the community. Like may mga independent program ang mga local government units na yan. So you can just shop, punta ka dun sa munisipyo ninyo and you can ask kung ano yung mga different programs na pwede ninyong i-refer doon sa patient ninyo. And that is part of your case management. And then under the LGU, and then of course yung ating rural health unit, the RHU, in which you can refer your patient to. Like kung hindi pa nila nakikita yung patient na yun or kung may existing problem yun na kailangang i-address ka agad-agad, may urgency of the problem na kailangang bigyan ng intervention. So sa RHU siya i-refer. So ang RHU natin, it provides the basic health services for the population it serves, like the maternal and child health work and addressing communicable disease. So ang focus nito is to prevent for prevention and promotion health services. And we have here a ratio according to the Department of Health. So ang one RHU is to cater 20,000 population. So RHU1, RHU2 catchment population ratio. One RHU is to 20,000 population ratio. So that is according to DOH 2009. So yung satellite naman RHU, we have the Barangay Health Station or the BHS. This is the first contact healthcare facility offering basic services at the barangay level. So ito yung pinaka-present na healthcare facility sa mga purok at sa mga barangays. At dito rin kayo nag-duty minsan sa mga health and wellness station, the barangay health stations. So most commonly dito kayo nag-duty kasi ito yung mga satellite healthcare facilities doon sa mga purok and barangays. So ilan nga ba or sinong nagmamanage ng mga healthcare facilities na to? So these are the chain of command for municipal mayor as the highest supervision, has the highest supervision over these facilities, also called the local chief executive. So under the RA 7305, Magna Carta of Public Health Workers. So ang trabaho niya is siya ang nagsiserve as the chairman of the Municipal Health Board. Walang susunod sa kanya, the next in rank, the Municipal Health Officer sa health naman. So he or she is the vice chairman of the Municipal Health Board. We have the public health nurse or the PHN or the community health nurse. Ang trabaho niya, ang main function niya is to collaborate or to work with other members of the healthcare team, maging government agency mo yan, private businesses, non-government organizations, and people's organizations like mga CSOs, mga civil society organizations to address the community health problems. And of course, ang PHN ang nagsusupervise at nag-guide sa lahat ng rural health midwives in the municipality. Sila ang supervisor ng midwives, and they cater one public health nurse is to 10,000 population ratio. So isang nurse ay magki-cater ng 10,000 population ratio in accordance to Republic Act 7305, Magna Carta Act of Public Health Workers. So kung ang population or kung ang munisipyo na yun ay may 50,000 population, dapat according to RA 7305, may legal basis na dapat merong 5 public health nurses doon sa 50,000 population na yan. Kasi nga, sabi ng 7305, RA 7305, ang one nurse is to cater 10,000 population. Now, we have the rural health midwife. Yan, siya ang nagmamanage ng barangay health station, mga satellite stations ng RHU, at nagsusupervise, at siya naman ang nagtitrain doon sa mga barangay health workers natin or the BHWs, or also called the village health workers. At ang midwife or the rural health midwife caters caters 5,000 population in accordance to RA 7305. So one RHM or one midwife makikater yan ng 5,000 population max at most. So lastly, we have the barangay health workers. So they are considered the interface between the community and the RHU. So sila ang pinakamukha ng community health team na galing sa rural health unit. So dapat ang isang BHW or one barangay health worker is to cater 20 households per catchment. So one BHW is to cater 20 households ratio catchment. So yan. Again, so sa public health nurse, nagki-cater yan yung isang public health nurse magki-cater ng 10,000 population ratio. How about your midwife? Magki-cater yan ng 5,000 population per one rural health midwife. And your BHW, one BHW is to cater 20 households per catchment. So ito yung sample natin for the organizational chart. So headed by the local chief executive as the chairman of the municipal health board, municipal health officer, usually MD yan, mga doctor, physician. Siya ang vice chairman of the municipal health board usually. And we also have other teams like your medical technologists, we have the rural sanitary inspector, we have the admin aide, and of course yung ambulance driver. So yeah. So what are other agencies na pwede nating pag-referan ng ating clients? So we have here NGOs, the non-government organizations, or we have the civil society organizations. Sila yung mga civic organization or club. Pwede yan mga veterans club, local service club, fraternal society or association, volunteer fire or rescue groups, other local civil or civic league or association of 10 or more persons not proprietary but operated exclusively for educational and charitable purposes. So itong mga to, meron silang mga existing bylaws, may mga officers, so lahat ng mga accredited na mga civil society organizations ay pwede nating pag-referan ng ating mga clients kasi nag-offer yan ng mga charity services. And we also have here religious organizations na ganun din yung aim or ganun din yung purpose nila. So meron tayong groupings of religious individuals, like meron mga goals and purposes yung mga different organizations na related sa sa religion. So we also have school organizations. Ito yung mga tumutulong sa ito mga school or mga school organizations na nabubuo sa loob ng eskwelahan. Of course, we have here different organizations like your PTAs, the Parent Teachers Association. So those are examples of organizations na nabubuo doon sa school. So essential ingredients of partnership, dapat meron tayong egalitarian or mutual na relationship with the other members of the healthcare team or yung mga external resources natin. Dapat egalitarian, dapat um, equal yung decision making. So we must be open-minded. Dapat may open-mindedness, may respect and trust among the organizations, and dapat iisa yung objective natin para um, in order for us to commit our goals and objectives. And evaluation of family nursing care, this step is the way we determine the value of nursing care that has been given to family. So, syempre, ina-assess natin dito kung ano yung impact ng ginawa nating intervention. So, meron bang naging epekto itong intervention na ginawa natin, or is it just for compliance? And in order for us to terminate, in order for us to know if kailangan bang i-terminate, i-continue, or i-modify yung mga intervention na ginawa natin. And we also evaluate our clients because ayan, meron tayong framework for evaluation na tinatawag. So for your evaluation, we have two types, the process evaluation and outcome evaluation. So for your process evaluation, we are carrying out properly whether meron bang mga intervention pa na na hindi natin nagawa. So it relates to the evaluation of implementation, whether it is carried out properly or whether any intervention is left. And then we have the outcome evaluation. Ito yung actual na evaluation na ginagawa natin. And it is the evaluation of result, whether goals are met properly. So this is where we assess if there is a notable change doon sa ating family. So for example, ang nursing care plan natin, in formulating your family nursing care plan, for the case of S family, so yan, meron siyang 5 children, both parents are alive. Upon observation, the family practices improper hygiene in eating and waste disposal. So the 5 children have 2 to 3 years of age gaps, having the youngest child to be 1 year old and the oldest to be 9 years old. So ang subjective data ninyo yung galing sa patient. Sabi niya, dahil sa dami ng anak ko, minsan ang tudungis na nila. Mabuti na lang nandyan ang panganay ko na si Nene. Siya yung nagbabantay sa 2 kapatid niya. So yun yun. Identify niyo na kagad yan yung strength ng family. And then objective data, kung ano yung na-observe ng nurse. So yung Nene, 19-year-old daughter cuddles her younger brother, which is, or who is Jose, who has flu at this time. So meron kayong existing na flu or health deficit. So she managed to feed her other sibling with bare hands without hand washing. So the fingernails and toenails of these children were not trimmed properly and filled with dirt. The other 2 siblings came into the house sweating and their feet were smudged with mud. So Jose suddenly wet his shorts and then they must clean him up. So the place wherein he peed was not cleaned but left only. The pillow that was affected by the urine was just placed outside for the sun to dry. So anong gagawin nating family nursing diagnosis? So yan, basically inability to provide a home environment conducive for health and maintenance secondary to unhygienic practices. So that is your family nursing diagnosis. And what are the objectives? So we can place it here within 3 hours of nursing intervention, the family will be able to recognize the need for proper hand washing before and after, and then enumerate factors that promote unhygienic practices, be knowledgeable, acceptance of proper hygiene as parang i-incorporate na lang yung proper hygiene sa activities of daily living, and exhibit the desire to change the current unhygienic practices. So interventions natin dito in rational. So check if the family is aware of their health practices. So nagawa na natin yan. This will help the nurse to know the severity of the health problem. You should demonstrate the proper hand washing techniques and then emphasize the importance of proper hygiene, more on health education. Sa listen to the concerns of the family regarding the hindrances of the practice. And then evaluation, you can just place it here na kapag after 3 hours of nursing intervention, the goal was met kasi nga the parents were able to demonstrate proper hand washing. Ito na yung naging epekto ng ginawa mong intervention, which is health education. So kaya nilang mag-return demonstration uh, ng proper hand washing. So the siblings who were 5 years old and above were able to wash their hands with assistance from their parents or baka with little assistance from their parents. Lunch was served and the children filed for a line in washing their hands before and after the meal. So that is how you continue or how you formulate your FNC.